Oh, we have it? We have the team? Okay, we have a team. Let's go. Scott, give it to us.
Simone Biles, Skye Blakely, Shilese Jones, Joscelyn Roberson, and Leanne Wong.
All right, so there we go.
Kayla DiCello, alternate. That's big.
That's the surprise for me is Kayla DiCello as alternate. I feel like it sucks I feel like Kaliya got hosed here.
The show is PG-13, so you might hear a naughty word or two.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes, the show that we do every Friday for Club Gym Nerd members or live from competitions like we are right now. I am in Katy, Texas. I just watched 2 days of the U.S. women's team World Selection Trials. World Selection, God, it's trials, you guys. And so I'm going to tell you everything I saw in person, what you couldn't see on the live stream, and talk to you about some interviews that we did. And Spencer watched everything and did all the math at home so we can be outraged about when they don't pick the highest scoring team. It's September 20th, live from Katy, Texas. And this is GymCastic, the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. And I'm just going to be here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation. Spencer, can you tell everybody how this works?
All right. So if you're a club member, make sure you're on your members feed so you get the whole show, because we're going to have a lot to talk about. The team's going to come out at some point, we think, while we're recording, and then we'll have some live and dramatic reactions to it, I'm sure. For everyone, headlines will start. We'll start the episode for everyone, and then at a certain point, the rest of it will be behind the scenes bonus content for club members. And then soon, we're doing our Worlds coverage. We've got a regular behind the scenes this Friday. We're going to have then a preview episode for Worlds, and then we'll be Worlds episodes starting on September 28th. We're also giving away another full commission during Worlds, a commissioned episode to a Club Gym Nerd member, so make sure your membership is active. And in a second, maybe once you're done watching this so you don't switch, we have Shilese Jones and Simone Biles interviews up on our YouTube now, with more to follow.
Also, we are having a meetup in Antwerp. So we are leaving. I'm leaving on what day? Sunday. So we will be there. Podcast start the first day of women's podium training. So that's Wednesday, I think.
Thursday. Just said Thursday. Thursday the 28th.
Thank you. Thursday the 28th. That's right. And we're having a meetup there for Club Gym Nerd members or for anyone that listens to the show. Anyone can come. You don't have to be a member. So it's going to be in Antwerp, Tuesday, October 3rd at 3:30 p.m. at Hotel Indigo, Queen A's Kitchen is where we're meeting up. And there will be an RSVP link going up in the forum and out soon, so you guys can let them know so they have enough staff to support us, because we are legion. If we've learned anything from meetups in the past, we have to let the place prepare for us. All right, let's go. All right, so we're waiting for the team. Let's go.
We're waiting for the team. So we think soon, estimate?
We think like 30 minutes-ish. 30 minutes we should get the team. Yeah.
From now. So do we have things we want? Like, I'm basically just waiting for the team now. I'm like, all right, just like, come on. I know who the team should be. You know who the team should be too. Tell them. Let's go. Come on. Let's get on with it. But do you have things, general analysis of the competition today before we get the actual team? And i.e., was it even worth having a second day of competition?
I mean, obviously, I feel like today is not worth it unless you've already basically made the team. There were some interesting things that they asked for. Like, they asked Jade to vault again and to do beam again, and she made the wise decision to take out her half turn jump that she's constantly falling. Also smart, so she hit her beam, and they asked her to vault again. And so I think that was interesting choice. But I mean, I don't think they're going to choose the highest scoring team. They're going to go by all around, because somehow they think that math and scores are controversial and all around order is not, which is ridiculous. So the other thing that happened is Skye fell on bars today, which is typically a good event for her. So that was kind of surprising. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything really that happened today except Simone hitting bars that was would make a difference. I don't think anything that happened today is going to make a difference, but it was interesting. Yeah. Simone said that everybody was really nervous the first day. And she's like, even me. And like, that's just weird. I don't get nervous. Like, I don't know why we were all nervous, but today was much better. It was more chill. And her whole workout today was different. Her warm up was better. Her bars warm up was better. Her routine was better. She was on. So,
her beam was when she started on beam. That is, her beam routine is quick anyway. Like, it's a short routine. This is the fastest, I feel like, especially the beginning of that routine. She got on that beam, was like, I'm doing this connection. I'm doing this series. I think her beam routine was like 2.6 seconds long. She was like, I'm mad. Yesterday didn't go well, and I'm going to get this done, and I'm going to get it hit and see ya.
There was some angry beam.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yep.
That was what happened today. She was like, bye.
Yep.
Get this out of the way.
I feel like Jade did angry beam too. I could tell Jade was like, and then Jordan also did angry beam, and Jordan wore a white leotard that made her stand out like from distance. Like she was like, by the way, I'm still here and I will hit everything. And apparently,
and are you still going to talk about a white leotard curse after this yet another example of a gymnast having a good day while wearing a white leotard?
Because it doesn't exist, you guys. That's what we've learned. There's no such thing. So she has been hitting beam in practice, no problem, and hitting floor. Like, it has not been an issue. And she just was like, I don't understand why this happened, because I've been hitting. And so she did today, and it was fine. I think she's just like very surprised that what happened on day one to Jordan, I think she was very surprised about. And like, her Achilles isn't affecting her, the cyst in her Achilles. It's just there, and she feels it, but it's not something that's bothering her. So Simone,
I thought it was interesting with Skye. Like, it really reinforced how much I think Skye has elevated her position in like the hierarchy of the team when she fell on bars, and I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't affect anything at all. Like, she's moved up to that echelon where it's like, you can fall on bars and I'm not worried about it, which is a different status.
Yeah. We have a special guest joining us now. We did last year from World Team Trials. We have Mr. Scott Bregman.
Oh my God, I wasn't ready for that.
Okay, he'll be right back after he fixes his audio. It is embarrassing.
Very.
But it's my fault because we didn't send him the link in time. So while we wait for Scott, who talked to Simone a little longer today, so he'll have some info for us. Simone, I think, what do you think is different about her bars this time around?
Like today versus yesterday?
Just score-wise. Did she get a higher score today? Well, I mean, besides the fall.
On bars?
Like, in general, even with the one...
She fell on the first day and did not today. So, yeah, her score was a little more than a point higher, as one would expect.
I thought overall it was going to be higher, because everything in her routine was better, not just missing the fall.
But, I mean, I thought it was a normal score. It did not stand out to me, is what I will say. It was about what was expected. Yeah. She had a particularly large leg separation on her Maloney. Like, she always has a little bit of one. Today it was like a straddle. And so there were a couple things where I noticed, like, that's a little bit of a more looser than her typical would be.
Yeah. Also, I want to say one other thing is that about Simone is that Cecile said, in terms of her comeback and like getting her on board to like do this, that Cecile was like, yeah, we made a plan and we just told her what was happening as we went. Like, oh, here's your leotard, here's that, here's another thing. We didn't like tell her we didn't tell her ahead of time what was coming up and be like, you have to commit to this. So there was never like a schedule ahead that she could worry about and get stressed about. It just slowly happened. And I think that was a smart move in terms of how they like manage her stress and stuff like that. Also, let me see. We talked about Jade and Jordan. Okay, should we talk about
comeback day? It was comeback day for all the people who had struggled on day one, and you just wonder if it's like too little, too late.
Yeah,
in terms of affecting what a team might be.
Yeah. Did you think that this Chung was better because she got for Jade?
Yeah.
She
got a couple tenths better. I thought it was more controlled.
Yeah. All right. Should we go, while we're waiting to hear what the best team is, should we hear what the best team, who the team they name is versus the actual highest scoring three?
We will decide. I think we have proven we will decide who the best team is.
Yes.
And where they obviously got it wrong. Yeah.
So
I hope they throw us a curveball or do something weird.
It would be really.
I want it just to be like, oh, Jade's on the team.
I mean, for you, what's the biggest hole if they go by all around? What's the biggest hole? What's the biggest weakness that they could take someone for just one event for?
It is, for me, the way I've been thinking about it, and I think why I value Kaliya Lincoln as a possibility on the team more than maybe like the selection committee or something, is that when I look at Simone Biles, Shilese Jones, Skye Blakely, like, what if they just all went on the 3 events? Because they're my top 3 locks. What if they all went on the 3 events in the team final? That's pretty good. The one area where you wouldn't want to put a routine up would be Skye Blakely's floor, because she hasn't really been hitting this year. So then I'm like, okay, what's the best floor routine that you then add to the team? Who has the best, has scored the best on floor this year, this summer? Who would you put in? And that's Kaliya Lincoln. So she's my 4th team member. I don't think they're thinking of it that way, but that's the way I think of it. That you're putting in Kaliya Lincoln there, and then you start talking about 5th team member.
Speaking of Skye Blakely's floor, we were talking about this earlier today. You had questions about Skye Blakely's floor, Scott.
Okay, am I good now? Is this working?
You did it. I'm proud of you.
I think my AirPods are on their last leg, so I apologize. I just, I was saying to Jess, like, for someone who's such a good tumbler, I mean, she can do these big, tumbling passes. It's not working, and I think they need to go for a less is more approach, which we've seen work for like a Suni. I think, like I said to Jess, like double layout, double pike, front through to double back. I know it's not the most exciting routine, but like there's no reason that she can't break 13 on the floor. I mean, and of course, if she does, she'll be, I think she could even give Shilese some pressure.
The other thing is, like, we were talking about what we think like the biggest weakness is if they're just going by rank order, all around order, which they've been doing. And I feel like bars is the place where they could stand to have a what team was that? 2016-esque bar specialist or beams or bar specialist, like a Madison Koshin, a Zoe Miller, a person that you could just bring, who you could use on all the events, but who can twerk maybe, because that's always.
Is that what you have in mind?
I'm just saying it would be fine with me. So I mean, do you think there could be a case made for increasing the team bar score? But who would you take out if you took a Zoe Miller?
I mean, Zoe Miller would be on, like, if you just took camp scores, if nationals didn't exist, and it was just camp was the only thing you were going by, Zoe Miller would be on your highest scoring team with Biles, Jones, Blakely, and Roberson.
Yeah.
She complements that group well. So I think that's your argument for Zoe Miller.
So if they... Okay, what are the other permutations of highest scoring team that we're going to talk about?
You'll need to be more specific. The number of tabs and sheets I have, Jessica, on this spreadsheet, like, I'll need some direction. I'll need you to let me know what you're looking for. My preferred approach, I'll start with, which is using both nationals and the selection camp and using an average score. That's closer. I mean, actually, what my preferred approach would be is you have 2 days of nationals, 2 days of trials, take your top 3 of 4 scores on each event, drop your low, average the remaining 3, and then there's your highest scoring team. If I were, writing a selection procedure, that's what it would be. But
that's very kind of men's gymnastics approach, as opposed to mine.
I generally support the Brett McClure approach to team selection.
As opposed to what I prefer, which Scott Bregman of the Olympic Channel always gives me shit about, which is just take the highest score anyone's ever gotten and tie all your feelings to that and be like, it could happen that they could do that in a team final, put them on the team. But okay, I'll let you finish now.
Yeah, we can do that team too. That's the Kaliya Lincoln team.
Yeah, that's what
that's why Jessica loves it. That's the Kaliya Lincoln team. But yeah, if you're averaging nationals and camp together, Biles, Jones, Blakely, Roberson, Lincoln, and then Leanne's like 2/10 below that if you put her in place of Roberson. Jade Carey's also right there because Joss Robertson's she would be on that team to count a vault. So Jade Carey's vault score is also right there. So that's kind of where you are. But the thing is, Simone scores so well that you put anyone on that team and it's going to be close, which is kind of the burden which is the burden you want to avoid placing on Simone, which is the Tom Forster situation where it's like, we have Simone, so who cares who the other members of the team are? You don't want to put that all on her, because you could slot in, the people who finished last at nationals, and this would still be a really high scoring team with Biles and Jones and Blakely.
Yep.
But it's important to pick the highest scoring team you can.
Scott, what do you think do you think there's any chance, even with Alicia on the selection committee this time around? Alicia is voting on the selection committee. Alicia famously of "I hate bars. Go to hell, I'm not doing them anymore. I'm an event specialist." Do you think anything will change?
I mean, yeah, if anyone understands the importance of a specialist, it's Alicia, who obviously didn't do bars, I think, post 2005, or 6 maybe. But I don't know. I guess I've gotten so conditioned to expecting it. And like Spencer says, any team that they field with Simone, Shilese, and Skye is going to have a huge potential. I think it just makes a lot of things easier for themselves at this point to go with the all-around ranking. But I guess we'll see. Maybe this is like, I don't think last year really counted in terms of their selecting, because every time we talked, they were named in like May, I think, and every time we talked to Alicia and Chelsea, they were like, we are overwhelmed, we don't know what this job is, we don't know quite what our roles are. So and I think last year that there were so few options at the top all-arounders, that was what you had to go with. So we don't have a lot of evidence to go from because I don't think last year really counts.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
So then, is that the all-around from yesterday, or are we talking about all-around from nationals?
I think all-around from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because why else have this event then, right? Like, then they could have just picked the all-around ranking from nationals.
Well, I feel like that's kind of a good question of why have this event, the day 2, where everyone's just one day later doing bars and beam.
I think, I get it. They want to select the team at the last possible minute. I think when Worlds are a month later, like they were last year, they're almost exactly a month later, it makes a lot more sense to have a separate selection event. But these women competed 3 weeks ago, right? I mean, 3.5 weeks ago, I don't know. And not a lot has changed. And there was just another opportunity to like get hurt and like constantly kind of be, I mean, I know they will be near their peak anyway at this point, but it's just another week early that they have to be 100%.
Speaking of that, I want to talk about Shilese and her routines today a little bit, because she hit bars this time around.
Mm-hmm.
So she hit her downy pack to Van Leeuwen, which is what the sequence that she messed up, or that none of us could see, but she missed her feet and hit her feet on, and no one believed it. Even when I was like, I told you, I talked to the judges, and the judges said she hit her feet. So just confirming that again, she made it. And so she got much better and bigger scores this time around.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very similar routine from our perspective on bars. Those of us who didn't know she hit her feet the first time, I was like, oh yeah, that's as good as it looked like it was yesterday. But yeah, she got the score that she was looking for on bars, got the score she was looking for on beam. I didn't think it was necessarily her best beam of the summer, even though it was her best beam score of the year so far. It was a little shaky, but she has done extremely well to now. That's 3 hits since she grabbed the beam on the first day of nationals. Since then, clear top 3 on beam, which is also why I kind of felt like surprisingly beam was not as crucial today as it usually is. Like usually it's like, oh my god, beam, what's going to happen? But you kind of already had like Simone, Skye, and Shy as your 3 beamers settled before today, and not a lot was going to disrupt that.
I mean, this is one thing I think about. Like, I just do not, and other coaches I talked to today agreed with me that the scores are not going to be the same internationally. And I cannot think of a coach that I talked to who was like, the scores are really consistent, and this is exactly what's going to happen. Speaking of which, I was trying to find out what happened on bars with Shilese's score, because her score went down. And I didn't see an inquiry, but it seems like people are just standing around asking the judges stuff instead of actually doing a formal inquiry. And I asked Shy about it, and she's like, no, we didn't do an inquiry. So what happened was the judges gave her the wrong start value, put the score up, then realized they gave her the wrong start value and fixed the start value. Like, that didn't happen with the floor judges the first day with Jordan Chiles' routine, but it happened today with the bar judges. So at least they're getting it together. But I think there weren't any coaches who were like, these scores look totally legit. Like, exactly, we'll get at Worlds.
Has any coach ever said that? Has any coach ever been satisfied with the scores that their gymnast got? They're like, yes,
that's their whole
she
job.
deserved all deductions.
Although I have to say, Amy Borman will always be like, Simone crosses her feet on vault, so that's the correct e-score for her. There was also I asked Leanne if she have to talk to the judges today, or was she getting the D score she thought she should get? And she said, I had some questions, but I'm pretty happy with how I did. I don't think she got credit for that ring. I don't know if you had a better angle. For me, her ring jump on beam was short in all the ways.
She was, I think, particularly tentative on it today and had a big wobble on it afterwards. So I think
Speaking of which, I think we got the first ever switch half that didn't get credit today.
Oh, Zoe's?
Zoe's. I feel like it's a miracle. She needs a world record for this. It needs to call Guinness and show them this.
It was hilarious. I don't know if you guys heard this in person, listening to the stream, because she did her switch half, and one of her teammates, I think, yelled, "That's okay, Zhou," which I don't think I've ever heard a supporting gymnast yell that when it wasn't a fall. When it wasn't like, "That's okay, shake it off. You can come back from this. You can do it." It was just like the switch half was so short. They were like, "It's basically a fall. That's okay. Shake it off."
Could you guys hear the phone ringing?
Yes. Once.
Twice the phone rang. So loud. I was like, a golfer would have pitched a fit and like been a full toddler hissy situation and jumped off the beam. Be like, I can't. Talk to my agent. All right. Do you guys have questions?
It was a very old-fashioned ring, I felt like. I was like, did someone get called in the 60s? Is that what? Did we go back? Was there a call from the past to be like,
a rotary phone?
Yeah.
Do you guys have questions for us or questions for Scott Bregman specifically? Since, and Scott talked to Simone for a long time today, so he might have Scott gets special Simone privileges because she loves him. So if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. My
question is, come on, Worlds team. TikTok, where are you?
I know.
We're ready.
So this is the part of the show where we say goodbye to our non-club gym listeners, and we're going to do some more and talk about more behind the scenes things that happened today at the gym on day 2. So if you're not a Club Gym member, don't worry. We'll be back next week live from the World Championship starting on Thursday with women's podium training.
We have a preview before that.
Oh, crap. We have a preview. I forgot. We're recording a preview on Saturday. Are we doing that? Oh, my God.
We are doing that on Saturday.
So much. So we'll see you guys on the preview show. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening.
Wait. Jessica, I don't want to hijack this, but could you hear what Alicia was saying to the girls before the birthday celebration? I thought it was sweet.